Hey guys, so I'm overseeing a job site here to my left, so you're gonna hear some sounds. They got machetes and they're stacking wood, clearing brush and stuff, so you might hear some hollering. Good guys though. These are three of my buddies, basically guys that are in the ministry that I work with. But yeah, they're working, and also there's a woodpecker going nuts over here and chickens next door and stuff. So I'm going to be talking about some things that have to do with sounds and stuff, so I don't want you to read into all that too much, but something that I had to walk through in the gang stalking was, just certain things that were on repeat, things that I would see visually over and over. Could be a certain type of vehicle or certain hand motions, hand signals. Definitely sounds, horn honking, could be car alarms or people coughing around you all the time, like in excess. Obviously the thing is, a lot of these things are normal stuff, right? But happening over and over and over. Could be visuals with lights too, flashing lights, again, normal stuff, but done so much that it creates a response from us, right? So that's what I want to talk about. Like, these sounds and these visuals a lot of time are triggers, meaning they become something that is done to us to trigger a response, to get us in a state of like anxiety and fear. So why I'm making this video is to be able to hopefully help people that are going through this to understand that there's a reason why they're doing it, right? It's not all just random, and you're seeing these pattern things, whether it's something you're seeing or something you're hearing all the time, for a reason. I want you to start like kind of step back and look at how these things are making you respond, like emotionally, like physically as well. And I believe they're doing this to get you in a state of anxiety, right? And a lot of these things are really subtle, especially to people who aren't what's the word I'm looking for? Sensitized to it. Like, so these triggers can be normal things that you've been sensitized to it, or like it's been something that has been so over the top to get you stimulated, right? And they've created this trigger point in you. So now all they have to do is honk a horn twice to get you in a state of anxiety and on edge, right? So now that I laid a little bit of groundwork for this, talked about the triggers itself, right? So that can be certain things that they show you. It could be hand signals, certain vehicles. It could be a lot of things. Basically, they can use anything. They just have to do it over and over, right? And get you to see it and get you to have like a response to it, right? Usually anxiety or fear, could be anger. Those are probably three of the most common, but again, I'm just speaking off the top of my head. So these are just things that have helped me to think about it in this way. So they're doing these things to you for a desired response. And I don't understand everything, but I know that it's for a reason that they're doing these things. And how I've come to understand it is, like, when you're in fear, when you're in a state of anger or anxiety, you're not at peace. You're not thinking clearly. You're gonna make probably bad judgment calls. And so the biggest defense to this couple things that I've thought about. Basically, you have to figure out a way to stay at peace. Because if you're at peace, all these things, these sounds and these things they're showing you, they're not going to have that big of an effect on you. Right? Because it seems like it might be something really small, right? Just dealing with certain sounds or certain visuals, right? But it's not that you're hearing and seeing these things that is causing you distress. It's the response, it's the thoughts that are behind that, and the responses in your physical, right, in your mental state. It creates a sense of, oh, I'm being watched. Oh, what are they going to do next? Who's doing this? Why are they doing this? Like, all these are all anxious thoughts, right? And I'm not saying, that's normal, right? It's something that you're going to have to push through, right? Because if you don't get to a way to move around this, they're going to constantly keep you in a state of anxiety, fear, anger, all these things, right? And our peace is not there. So our whole life, we're just now living in this anxious, depressed, fearful, angry state with no peace. Fight or flight is being triggered in us all the time, right? Because of those thoughts. Oh, who's doing this? Why are they doing this? How are they doing this? They're watching me. It's just like constant. It's almost like they're causing like a fractured state of being, a trauma. It's all trauma. Like, so basically, this goes a lot deeper. I'm putting this out as a way that hopefully you can think about things that are going on, step back from it, and start realizing that there's a cause and effect, and there's things that you can do, in my opinion, to make these things better. So, like I said, your peace is being taken from you. You have to find a way that you can stay at peace, and this is going to be really hard, especially at first, when you're used to giving into these fearful thoughts and everything. So the biggest thing that has helped me is fully placing my trust in God, in Jesus, and knowing that there's nothing more powerful than Jesus. He's the name above every name, right? And so placing my very well-being, committing my spirit into his hands, everything, got it. I had to get to the point where I made this prayer, like, God, if it's my time to die, it's my time to die. I can't change that, there's too many people. There's this, whatever is coming against me is like, pick me apart, right? Because I went through those times where I was just anxious and just depressed and just confused and all these things that I didn't want to feel, right? And I believe God's led me to these understandings, like, and used this to get me to a point where I realized, okay, this is out of my hands, God. I need you to help me. I need you to protect me, and just start putting my full trust in him. So let's say, and this became very practical too, right? Not just some like theory in my head. Like, when I'm fearful, when they're giving me all these, these triggers, and I'm tempted to be afraid or, to be discouraged, it's like, okay, I'm not paying attention to these things. I'm going to put my trust in God. And, so that alone right there helped me a lot. Then, instead of paying attention to the sounds and the sights and all these things, I would stay at a place of peace by worship, singing praises to God, praying. And it was really uncomfortable at first. There was still things that I had to walk through that were still really fearful for me, right? Because these people just didn't go away and stop messing with me immediately. It was something that happened over time. But to recap, you got to try to find a way to stay at peace. And without God, I don't really have much answers for you. You're going to get picked apart, in my opinion. You need to learn to trust fully in Jesus. Put your faith in him. Walk with him. Pray to him. Understand that everything in the physical is temporary, and ultimately the most important truth is that Jesus came for the lost. He came and took upon the cross for our sins, and through him we can have salvation, we can have peace with God. And that doesn't keep us from having difficult times in this world, right? But it seals our fate in him, right? Seals our destiny is in him. So that alone should bring you a lot of peace, because a lot of times they're going to use the fear of dying. It's going to be one that they always have over your head until you submit that to God, right? What else was I going to say? Okay, staying at peace. Oh yeah, okay. So the more attention you pay to the signals and to the sounds, the more focus you put on it, the worse that things actually get, right? Because you now are becoming hyper focused, and you're looking for everything, and you're looking for all the sights, you're looking for all the sounds, and they're getting you to pay attention to it. That's stealing more and more of your life. That's stealing your focus, your attention. And like I said, with that comes, through the back door, the anxiety, the fear, all these things that are the negative side of things. So if you can stop putting your attention on it and your focus on it, things will, just logically, things will get better, You're not seeing all the little games they're playing. You're not looking for them, right? Set your eyes on something else, like distract yourself and stay at peace, because that's the way that they're controlling you. These triggers are causing a response in you, right? So you got to find a way to offset that. Yeah, that's kind of in a broad stroke what I wanted to say. There's things go a lot deeper than this, but like I said, my goal is to just kind of get you to step back and think about what's actually happening, and realize that there are some things you can do, not to just be a constant, ball of stress and anxiety and yeah. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions, or yeah. See you guys on the next one.